with the Evelo team at Keller Realty, and I'm excited today to share the screen with Bob Woerner, one of our senior partners and realtor specialists with the Evelo team. And we are here with the monthly real estate market update. Today, we're going to review what happened in the local market in October of 2021. So Bob, take it away. What happened in the local housing market in October?
Yeah, let's just jump right in. So for the past few months, what we've been doing is kind of taking I've switched from comparing month to month and year over year to kind of looking at this 5-year look back. Obviously, a lot of people have questions about, is the market changing? When is it going to change? Are we going to see 2008 again? So I think it's good to see these charts spread out over 5 years, because we can start to maybe identify some trends before we see them coming. So first up is that median sales price. So for October 2021, really no change at all over September of 2021. At 255 is the median sales price for our market, but that is up 14.9% year over year. So still really robust growth overall in 2021. That next one we like to take a look at is that cumulative days on market. So again, that one continues to dwindle down. There was, again, no change month over month. You can see, I think our trend for October is that it was very similar to September, but like the other, we are down 16.7% year over year. That median days on market is down to 5 days. So that's a pretty crazy number. 5 years ago, remember, we were over 100 is what that number was. So big change there. This one, there has been an ever so slight uptick in inventory. Drum roll. We went from a 0.7 to a 0.8 month supply of inventory. So not a big change there. Still under a month supply of inventory. Again, if you've been with us prior months, a balanced market is a 5 to 7 month supply of inventory. So we're still down 11% year over year, but we did see an ever so slight increase in October. And then the last one we take a look at from this perspective is that percent of list price received. Again, down just a tick, 0.1% over September, but overall our market is still averaging over list price offers, which is up almost 2% over last year.
Wow, those are some still really crazy numbers, right? In the
Absolutely.
Market that we're in. So what does a 0.8 month supply of inventory really look like?
Yeah, so what we've done for the last several months is really kind of break this down to see what that means on paper. So we've kind of taken a look consistently at 5 of our northern suburbs. The majority of these are Hamilton County. One is in Boone County. We happen to do a significant volume of business in those areas. And when it first got under 500, we thought that was a pretty crazy number, but we've been below 300 in these areas for the last few months. So you can see here there's a total of 242 active listings across these 5 suburbs as of this morning. And then we like to take a look and say, hey, which ones are 250 and less? And we only have 11 total. So those numbers remain very low, especially the numbers at 250,000 or less. And that really kind of illustrates what a 0.8 month supply of inventory looks like.
Yeah. Wow. And so what about interest rates? I know people are always curious about interest rates. Where are they at currently?
Yeah, that's another great one that we like to take a look at. Similar to the market data, we have started taking this kind of 5-year look back so we can see where the peaks and valleys have been. You can really see our last peak was in that kind of late 18, early 2019, and we've been pretty consistently on a downward trend since then. We've seen a couple little spikes in 2021. I think last month we were a tinge over 3%. You can see that real little peak there. And we actually dropped below 3% again this month. So overall, the consensus seems to be that we're still going to see interest rates increase for the remainder of 2021 and 2022. And then what we've been doing is taking a look at what does that mean from a purchasing power standpoint, right? Some people are saying, well, I'm going to wait till next year to buy and see if the market cools a little bit. But let's just say a $300,000 home, if we see the same market gains that we've been seeing, that home next year is going to be 340, right, in that ballpark. And if we go from a 3% interest rate to a 4% interest rate, we've gone up $200 a month in your payment. So that really is, I know a lot of people maybe want to kind of sit on the sidelines, but sometimes sitting on the sidelines actually backfires and ends up costing you money versus saving you money. But definitely, if you're considering buying or selling either one, let's sit down and talk about that, and we can see when might be the best time for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, any final thoughts about the state of the market?
Yeah, we always kind of try to end with something just as we kind of get close to Thanksgiving and we're looking at winding down the year. Maybe you kind of sat on the fence this year and you weren't certain if 2021 was the year to sell. You have definitely, if you've been a homeowner for any period of time greater than 6 months, you have probably built some nice equity in your home. And so if you're sitting down around the holidays thinking about, what your plans might be from a housing perspective for 2022, reach out. Let us do a quick, comparative market analysis for you. Let us help you kind of figure out maybe how much equity you have in your home today. If you haven't really had someone do that, especially if you've been in your home for a long time, you might not realize how much equity you've really gained, right? So whether your 2022 plans might include moving up, downsizing, or as it gets a little cold and dreary here in good old central Indiana, maybe you've been thinking about moving away to warmer weather and moving to that dream location. Whatever it is, we're here to help, and definitely just a call or text or an email away.
Yeah, absolutely. As we experience those freezing little spitting snow this week, right?
Absolutely.
Everybody might be thinking about finding a warm location for a second home or relocating. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much, Bob, for all the detailed information. We appreciate it each and every month. It helps us have a real close eye on the market and what's happening out there, so we can be the most informed buyers and sellers that we can be. So thanks so much for joining us. And if you do have a real estate need that we can help with, please contact us at info@eveloteam.com. Again, info@eveloteam.com or 317-863-9011. And we'll have that information here on the post. But thank you so much for joining us again. And thanks again, Bob, for all your information.
Absolutely. And happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there.
Thanks. Happy Thanksgiving all. Bye-bye.